Who was it that said that the new generation isn't going to remember Michael Jordan? Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, yeah.
I agree with him. What are you talking about? Of course, they're not
Okay.
going to remember Michael Jordan. There's so many different genres apart from even sports. They never remember the legends unless you, of course, have the very astute, followers of that sport or genre or whatever. But like just the general public, your basic fan, they're not gonna
Right.
remember Jordan. It's gonna be up to people like look at the look on his face. It's gonna be up to people like you, people like the NBA, other players, people who make documentaries to make sure Jordan's name stays alive. Jordan ain't out there running around making sure his brand is strong. Jordan don't even care. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, first of all, let me do the full statement for those who don't know. Dwayne Wade just had an interview, and pretty much what he said is that in the next few years, people aren't going to be looking at Jordan as the GOAT anymore. It's not even going to be a debate. Everybody is going to be calling LeBron James the GOAT. And he's saying just because as time passes naturally with the younger generations and all that stuff, they get to watch LeBron James play. So when those young kids are now in their 30s, in their 40s, the debate isn't even there's not even going to be a debate anymore. That was the full statement, because you got to let people know that it's LeBron being replaced by Jordan as well in the statement. So it's a big statement that he's made.
And
Two
he's not
things.
lying.
Okay, stop. Two things. One, Jordan is not going to be the GOAT anymore. And the second one, of course, LeBron James is going to take his spot. So I hear what you're saying. I hear you very much. But there's one thing that I think a lot of people are forgetting that a lot of other players didn't have. Because I do agree. Over time, obviously, you're going to forget about the people who came before, because nobody's talking about uh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Dr. J. Nobody's saying that they're the GOATs, but you hear all these players from that time, that era, that
Could
Jordan
could could,
era.
could you at least say Larry Bird? Can we give
No,
that
because
guy
he's
some
in the
props?
same era. He's in the same era as Jordan.
Yeah,
So I
but can
can't.
you at least say his name? You never talk about Bird. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
because he's in the same era as Jordan, and I'm talking about people the era before Jordan. So
Can
I
you?
would not say Larry Bird.
I just wanted you to say his name. All right, you can continue now.
That's why I said it like that. See, I got my way. I got to say it my way. You know what I'm
Fair.
saying? So anyway, that's why a lot of people are like, okay, this is gonna happen naturally. The one thing that Jordan has a lot of players, or no player really has, is Jordan brand. I think people forget about the Jordan shoes, the clothes, the logo. That's
Cologne.
not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. You think that for the next 20, 30 years, there's not going to be 12, 13, 14-year-old boys and girls out there still trying to get themselves a pair of J's? As long as that is the case, as long as that is the case in our thing, Jordan will always be in the conversation, because there's no reason to go out and want you a pair of J's if you don't know what the J stands for. People
But
are going out there to get them Jordans because they still want to be like Mike. He don't play basketball no more. People still want to be him. Okay? So don't tell me that in 10, 20 years he's going to fade from no conversation. Only thing fading is his hairline, and he dealt with that many, many years ago. It's
got the
now a
baldy.
signature look. It's a
Got the
signature
baldy.
look. Exactly. He even turned that into a signature thing. Come on, man. Come on. You gonna tell me he go fade off? Now I agree that LeBron James is always going to be in the conversation. And will there be more of will the side be more towards LeBron James than Michael Jordan? It's possible. It's possible. But I'm telling you right here, right now, there's no way in hell, cold day, where Jordan will not be the main guy in the top of the conversation. He is still, to this very day, on planet Earth, the best known athlete worldwide. And he's been retired since the early 2000s.
Yo, did Kobe do enough?
Kobe did, but the problem is, see, this is the problem. And anybody who has a family and they have 3 children will understand that, because you have the baby who, gets all the love and all the attention and all the comforting. You get the oldest, who usually gets all the independence. gets all the freedom. And then you have the middle child who's usually forgotten about. Kobe, unfortunately, in this situation is the middle child. And it has nothing to do with his skill level, obviously, his talent, obviously, none of that is equated into the situation because he has more rings than LeBron James.
This is what I'm
He has his stats, like LeBron has more records, but he has more than LeBron James. Go ahead.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, the guy who's gonna scrub out, sorry to say it like that, Jordan's legacy. Why are we talking about Kobe? R.I.P. By the way. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, did he not do enough? Like, what's up? Where's Kobe in this conversation? Was
Right.
Kobe ever in the conversation?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
So,
Before LeBron
so
James.
what happened to Kobe? That's why I say, did he do enough? Because I mean, or is it because of his untimely passing? LeBron just remember in hip hop there was Biggie, and that was it when it came to Brooklyn. And Biggie RIP passed away. That left a wide opening for Jay. So is this the same situation? Kobe passed away, wide opening for LeBron.
No, because Kobe passed away after his career was over. So he got the honor, the pleasure of playing for a full career.
Okay.
That was the best that he could have done. There's nothing else that could have been done to add to his career, right? So you can judge it. You can judge it fairly. You can't say that he passed early like other athletes who passed really, really early and could have been something incredibly great. The only one I could think of off the top of my head is Sean Taylor. He's an NFL player, but still.
So then ultimately you have to fairly, no bias, say, all right, Kobe, RIP, but you were not the guy that was going to replace Jordan. It's this guy, LeBron.
When LeBron came in, yeah.
And are we only saying that because LeBron is still playing?
I mean, Kobe played just as long as
How
LeBron,
long
I think,
did
at this
Kobe
point.
play?
I think Kobe played like 20 years. I think he played 20,
That's a
if
lot
I'm
of years.
not mistaken. Because
That's a
he
lot of
started
years.
when he started them, him and LeBron had the benefit of both getting to start right out of high school.
Mm.
Right. So that's a benefit that they have where they can have longer careers because they got to start 2-3 years earlier than a lot of players, right?
Right,
So
right.
they get that. So I think Kobe played for about 20 years. So LeBron's on 19 right now. He's definitely going to play past 20 if he keeps playing the way he's playing right now. I think why people put him over Kobe is just because of his ability. Like Kobe had the ability to dominate, but LeBron's ability to dominate because of his physique as well.
Yeah, he's a big
Like
dude.
he has Kobe's scoring abilities, not all the mechanics that Kobe has, but he has the ability to score as many points, and he has the physicality to where he can back down. And right now he's playing center on his team in
Yeah.
the NBA. So I mean that says a lot right there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's not a young man playing the five who should be playing the three. It's somebody who's 37 playing a center position
Okay.
against
All right.
guys
Yeah.
who are
Yeah. I get it.
22, 23 and are
No, I
seven
get
foot
it.
one.
I get it. I get it.
You see what I'm saying?
I can see why they would.
It's a
Why they would.
different
I get
level.
that.
That's
I get
why.
that.
That's
I
why.
get that. I get that. You know, I wanted to be able to say, rather to stick with how I started, but when you brought up the shoe, that kind of, I don't want to say stamps his legacy, but it really kind of prolongs it for sure. As long as that shoe is popping, nobody's just gonna go spend whatever XYZ or whatever dollar sign they put beside it for a pair of Jordans if they don't know what it represents. You're just not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So good point. Good point. Fair
Kobe,
point.
Kobe, Kobe don't even have a shoe right now because him and Nike, well, his Vanessa and Nike are in arguments about how much they should get paid and working out a deal. So Kobe don't even have a shoe right now. And you don't hear, like, no offense to LeBron, but you don't hear nobody globally talking about I need to get me the latest pair of LeBrons. You know what I'm saying? Like people buy them, obviously they're doing well, but not on the level of Jordan. It's just a different level.
Well, you
Ain't
got
nobody
to
paying. 5, 6 figures for no
You
LeBrons.
got to remember, rappers, entertainers, they the same way they run around with the Beats headphones, that's how they were running around with the Jordans. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they had a real cultural impact. Yo, do you remember when Jordan always stuck his tongue out?
I mean, that even that became a signature thing, right? And
Yo,
people in
man.
rock and roll, people doing rock music looking at him like, yo, bro, really? You taking
I,
our shit?
I know,
Taking our
right?
shit? Because they've been doing that forever. Guns
Hey,
N'
man.
Roses, Kiss, they've been doing that forever, dog. Jordan came out and it's his thing all of a sudden,
I always
you know?
thought that when he did that, it was just a sign of like extreme focus, like tunnel vision. You know what I mean? Like whatever he's doing, he's in that moment and that's all he's doing. Anyways, it was weird, but it was cool at the same. I ain't gonna front. I stuck my tongue out when I played ball too. We all did. Flies going all in your mouth. Um,
Another thing you got to think about though too is that we're at a time right now where a lot of the rappers, a lot of the people who are fans of this game never even got a chance to watch Jordan play.
yeah.
That's how far off we are from the time that he's retired at this point, and they're still lining up for hours to go cop his shoes and never watched him play a single game.
Well,
That's gonna die.
we gotta. Yeah. Well, LeBron's still alive. And
So
actually,
is Jordan. What's wrong with this guy?
let me say that a different way. LeBron's still playing.
He's still active. Like that's what you
Still
meant,
active, but
right?
even that says a lot because if you just look at it from just the brand, so the brand, right? If you just look at it from the brand, how are you still active and playing and ain't nobody running out to get your merch, but people are running out to, you understand what I'm saying? I feel like there's more of a fascination with Jordan than there is about LeBron. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who knows nothing, right? I'm just privy to what I see, just like
Right.
the rest of you guys.
It's
So,
social media. It's
yeah,
social media. It's a very simple answer.
there you go.
LeBron came up. LeBron came up in a time when there was social media, so people know a lot more about him. There was no social media when Jordan was playing, even after he retired for a long time. So there's more mystery and intrigue behind Jordan. We never got to
100%.
see him training as much until we saw the documentary The Last Dance. We never got to see him in the practice facilities and his workouts and what music he was listening to and him riding to games and bumping music and all that shit. We never got to see all that shit. We see that shit with LeBron James.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. It makes me wonder if that was available back then, if Jordan would have been that person, like that person to let you in. Because my understanding was he was an asshole. So,
The greatest always are. That's what you learn because people say the same thing about Kobe Bryant. That's why a lot of people didn't want to go and play with him because he was known for being an asshole, but he expects the excellence that he gives off from everybody else on his team. And they say the same thing with LeBron James.
well,
LeBron James is better at relationships. Like he wants to have friends. I think that's the difference with him and Kobe. Kobe didn't give a fuck about friends. I want to win a championship. That was Jordan. I'm not here to be your friend. I am here to win a championship. LeBron James is more like, yo, you want to go out for drinks after the game, dog? You want to let's chop it up for a second. Yo, let's trade jerseys, even though we're on opposing teams. The fuck, a different breed.
very different, man. Viewing public though, what are your thoughts on this? That was actually a bit of an interesting conversation. I want to see how this thing plays out. In fact, just our own viewing public, just
Time capsule.
keep it simple. Jordan, LeBron. That's it. One word answer. Jordan, LeBron. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces.